It is right that this House should consider compensation for women affected by changes to the state pension age. Before, during and after the general election, I pledged my support to the women of Western Bartonshire affected by this injustice, close to 6,000 of them. It was right and fair to do so then, and I cannot and will not turn my back on them now. I continue to support Western Bartonshire WASPI women, led by their inspirational coordinator, Elizabeth Daly. In March 2024, the PHSO's Stage 2 and 3 report found clear maladministration in the way the DWP communicated state pension age changes. I am clear, based on the communication I've received from my constituents, that they did not know that their state pension age was changing, or if they did, they received this information far too late to make the necessary adjustments to their retirement plans. Also, the PHSO instructed Parliament, instructed all of us to consider the findings, the rare but necessary step of laying before Parliament the report. Not just the Department or the Government. It was for us to consider the findings, apologise and issue compensation. For that very welcome apology for maladministration to be in any way meaningful, there must be redress for the injustice. There must be compensation. Not a handout for hardship, not means-tested, but on the same basis as all our other recently announced government compensation schemes. I urge my government colleagues to look again at the Ombudsman's report and its recommendations. Current national financial challenges should never be a barrier to awarding compensation. To ignore the Ombudsman's report not only undermines their important role and function, it is, in this context, unprecedented and sets us on a very dangerous path. There is nothing right and fair about the current statement to the House of the 17th of December 2024. Please review and instead explore what scheme this government can consider to offer financial redress to the 1950s women. 6,000 in Western Bartonshire, over 300,000 in Scotland, like my constituent Elizabeth, and I have permission to make reference to Elizabeth's story. Elizabeth said, "I left school and started working in the summer of 1971, aged 15. I was expected to retire on my 60th birthday, which was December 2015. In the summer of 2014, my husband took gravely ill and was in ICU for several weeks and hospitalised for 3 months in total. He was discharged with a walking frame and tube feeding, which I had to be trained to administer. I was given compassionate leave when required and allowed to temporarily reduce my working hours for 6 months. After that period, I had maximising attendance review and had to decide to return to full-time or permanently reduce my hours to 17.5. I had to choose the latter, as he was still very weak and dependent. After he had a relapse, I was absent again. I had another maximising attendance review. It was during this meeting that I discovered I would not be able to retire at 60 after all. I was distraught. I had reduced my hours and the other half of my post had been filled. When my husband died in 2018, I was earning half pay. I continued to work, and in fact, finding myself on the front line at the age of 65, my mental health deteriorated again, and I was absent from work during the winter of 2020. Then I made the decision to give notice of my retirement, but I wouldn't receive my state pension until mid-December 2021. Choices were removed from women. If we had known about this change in age, we could have made different decisions. Every decision I made up to 2014 was made in the assumption that I would retire at 60. I feel I have been a victim of injustice, with the PHSO confirming that women born in the 1950s suffered maladministration from the DWP. We have waited long enough. Mr Chair, they have waited long enough, and it's time to act.